Welcome into the Titans today. I am your host, Brett Alper. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about the NFL draft and the top 30 visits that the Tennessee Titans have had because many websites are talking about all of them. They've been leaked. The Titans have got it. Now, we're just 11 days away from the NFL draft. Can you believe it? In 11 days, the next Tennessee Titan will be putting on that cap because he's going first overall. Wink, wink, Cam Ward. But if you want Titans videos all throughout the NFL draft, every single pick, we're going to be making a video for you, breaking down the pick, what it means for the Titans, and just how good is this pick, including grades. Hit that subscribe button for me if you could. All right, so first things first that I want to get off is that top 30 visits are different from private workouts. Private workouts, you get to see this person in action. When visits, you come to the team facility, you interview with a bunch of people, you can get your medical. It's completely different from a workout than a visit. They're two different things. You're only allowed 30 in the NFL, before the NFL draft. You're only allowed 30. Private workouts, a little bit different. But these teams in the NFL, you really value these top 30 visits because you are able to get in-depth and get just how much you want to know about this player. And really, I mean, most of the draft picks you see in first two rounds are teams that bring in guys that are in top 30 visits. So now let's get started with your first couple, and I'm going to pair these two together just because, I mean, you kind of have to at this point. It's the QBs. The Titans bringing in QBs for top 30 visits. It's Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. I think Cam Ward is going to be a Tennessee Titan. I've said it on this channel multiple times. There is just multiple hints, and it's just clear as day that he is going to be a Tennessee Titan. And if you don't think so at this point, I don't know what you've been watching. I don't know what you have been looking at, but not saying Shedeur Sanders is a bad prospect. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft. But Cam Ward is just way better than Shedeur Sanders. That's just the only way to put it. I personally, what it's been looking like is that the New York Giants aren't going to take Shedeur Sanders at 3. I could see him sliding all the way down, possibly with the Pittsburgh Steelers, possibly with the New Orleans Saints. I don't know. But if you look at the stats, they're very similar. I mean, they were only 2 touchdowns apart, 3 interceptions apart, 200 yards apart. Shedeur Sanders has a better completion percentage, but that's because Cam Ward absolutely, and I mean he loves to try to fit it in those windows. He likes to play hero ball. Cam Ward's got a higher average, 9.5. I know from the tape, from the pro days, from everything that the Titans have done, it is just going to be, it's going to be Cam Ward. The odds on it are just wild. I think they're up to like minus 1,000 that he's going to be the first pick. Unless the Titans get a haul, which I don't think anybody's going to trade for it. He's going to be the number 1 pick. But I got to ask you guys this question. I've asked you guys before. We're going to go over it again and again. Do you rather pick a QB, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders? I'm typing in my CW in the chat right after this video. All right, for the next top 30 visit. If you're not going quarterback, I think you got to take the best player in this draft, the most talented player in this draft, and that's Abdul Carter out of Penn State. This man has only been playing edge rusher for a season, guys. And I mean, he looked incredible. I know Penn State, you're wearing number 11. It's like Micah Parsons. He's Micah Parsons 2.0. Every time you watch this guy's tape, all you see is just him getting straight to the quarterback. Like, it is kind of crazy just how much better he is than just some of these offensive linemen in college. I think he's going to be easily the best player in this draft that's not a quarterback. And the stats don't lie, man. I mean, look at 2024. First time playing on the edge, 68 tackles, 24 tackles for loss, 12 sacks, 66 pressures. 66. If you're dropping back against the quarterback and you're playing Penn State, you play in the Big Ten. Who won the national title this year? Yeah, the Big Ten. You're playing against the best talent in college football in the nation. And he's getting 66 pressures. He's getting to the quarterback almost every single play. I love Abdul Carter. If the Titans didn't need a quarterback, I'd say take Carter. But you have to get your quarterback. It's a quarterback-driven league. It is a quarterback-driven league, and you need a quarterback to even have a chance in the NFL. Now we're going to the next one, and that's the linebacker, and we're going to talk about Oladejo. He goes by Femi. Femi Oladejo, linebacker. He's also an edge out of UCLA. This was kind of an interesting pick. I've talked about Oladejo a little bit. And this is his first year starting. I mean, you bring him in for a visit, but he is just jumping up the draft boards. And I was looking at his draft rankings. They're not good. We'll go over them in a second. But in Mel Kiper's final mock draft, he got a little bit lazy, and he released it 14 days, 2 weeks before the end of the NFL draft, and he had Oladejo going to the Titans at pick 35. He also had Cam Ward going number 1, which is without a doubt a question. But when you look at his rankings on draft boards, they're just not great. I mean, the NFL.com had him in 84th. The NFL mock draft database had him at 82nd. ESPN 55th. And then PFF had him all the way down at 112. That tells me he's a 3rd, 4th round pick. If you're the Titans, why wouldn't you just go out and get someone that you know is going to be a day one right off the bat? Because pick 35, I mean, that's a good pick. 2nd round pick, it's 3 picks after the first. Why are you going and getting a guy that's 84th ranked in draft boards when there's plenty of other people on the board? I mean, his stats are decent. 57 tackles, 14 for loss, 4.5 sacks. But you can see before, I mean, 2023, half a sack. 2022, 1 sack. 2021, 0. He was at Cal before. But if you want him to play edge and you want him to be that guy that replaces Harold Landry, you did sign Draymond Jones. But if you want him to be a guy that replaces in probably year 1, do you really want a guy that's only been a starter in the NFL for starter in college football for 1 year? There's so many different edge rushers that you could get in the NFL draft, especially at 35. There's one guy, Landon Jackson, who's on my draft board, which I would easily take him over Oladejo. You have to get a more well-rounded edge because at pick 35, you got to expect him to be a starter in this league. And I don't know if Oladejo is going to be a starter in his rookie season just right off the bat. Now we're sticking on the defense and going defensive line, Cam Jackson out of Florida. I mean, this guy, he is an absolute tank. I mean, 6'6", I'm going to round up, 330. That is a big, big, big boy. I mean, this guy is still athletic at 328. I mean, just the height and weight is just drives off the charts. You can see it in the 90th percentile. He didn't run the fastest 40 time, 5.17. His splits are decent, but I mean, when you just have all of that strength, it is crazy. He's got freakish traits. He plays with strength. He can just outpower you. And you could see it in the last 4 seasons. I mean, 37 tackles, 32 tackles. He was at Memphis, and this guy is an absolute tank. I would love to see the Tennessee Titans get another defensive lineman, and I think this is your absolute perfect pick. I love a guy that's 330. I love a guy that's 6'6", 330 pounds. Just an absolute football player. Crazy. But we're going to go over the rest of some of the Titans' top 30 visits. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Game Time. I've told you guys before, I've been using Game Time even before I became a Chat Sports employee. If you download the Game Time app, use the promo code CHATSPORTS, Chat Sports, where terms apply. You can get $20 off your first purchase. If I wanted to go to my first basketball game I went to, I used the Game Time app. I did. Use the promo code Chat Sports, where terms apply, to get $20 off. It's not football season just yet, but the Nashville Predators season, I know they're not having the best, but you can still go and get tickets. And if you want to go see a Nashville SC game, you can also do that too. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but any sporting event that I can go to, I'm an extreme fan. Doesn't matter what sport it is. even AAA baseball. You can go see the Sounds if you want to. One thing I really like about Game Time is their all-in pricing option. You toggle that feature, and you get the total up front. And if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase where terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. What time is it? Game time. All right. We're going to start with the running back, Caleb Johnson, and he's jumping up draft boards. And I know what you're thinking, Brett. The Titans, they signed Tony Pollard. They signed Tony Pollard last year. He's a solid back. He had 1,000 yards. Yeah, well, Caleb Johnson, he's also a dog. And if you look at those traits, 6'1", 224, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears are not that big. You have 1A and 1B. I love Tony Pollard. I loved him when he was on the Cowboys. I made the dumbest decision of my life before he got traded to the San Francisco 49ers. I traded Tony Pollard. I traded Christian McCaffrey for Tony Pollard. I'm an idiot for that. Yeah, I made a mistake. But I thought when Christian McCaffrey was on the Panthers, it wasn't going to happen. But if you look at Caleb Johnson, he is downhill runner, 224, a bulldozer. That's what the Titans need. You're not going to get a bulldozer. You're not going to get a downhill runner with Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Those guys are speed backs. The Titans need a power back. And Caleb Johnson is the one guy. You look at every single NFL team, they all have that two running back system where you got your speed back and you got your power back. The Ravens, they have Derrick Henry, and the running back is pretty much Lamar Jackson. Speed, power. The Titans need that. You look at Caleb Johnson's stats, and I mean, 2024 was by far his best year. You doubled in carries and 1,500 yards. He's getting 6.4 yards a carry, 21 touchdowns. He is a guy that I would look at, maybe, I don't know, at 35, but you got to hope. If you're going to take him, you have to take him at 35 because you don't have a third-round draft pick, and Caleb Johnson's probably going to be gone. I'm going to be honest. He's going to be gone by the time the fourth round comes up. Now we're going into the other part of the offense that the Titans need, and I'm going to keep saying it until it happens because it didn't happen in free agency. Well, it kind of did technically, but not really. I mean, you signed Van Jefferson, but look at your depth chart. Treylon Burks, he's not going to be on the team in 2026. I'll just tell you that much. So the Titans are going to have to, and I mean have to, get a wide receiver. Is that Isaiah Bond? I would love a slot receiver, 5'10", 5'8". Just say 5'10", Brett. Just say 5'10". 180 pounds, solid. Could have been a better 2024 season. 34 receptions, 540 yards. But if you look at his stats when he was at Bama, I mean, the thing that sticks out to me more than anything is just his yards per catch. 16. And with Cam Ward with him, 5 touchdowns, only 2 drops. Only 2 drops in each of one of his seasons. I would really like Isaiah Bond, but there's also the other guy that you can go with. I just keep saying that you need to get not a guy that's going to kind of go up and get it at your highest point. You don't need a Justin Jefferson. You kind of just need that speed guy, that guy that's quick, that's fast, that can go across the middle because it opens up way more spaces, especially for a guy like Calvin Ridley. You can start throwing the ball deep, and Luther Burden could be that person. I loved Luther Burden. I think he's definitely a second-round option. I think Mel Kiper Jr. had the Patriots taking Luther Burden in their mock draft at their pick in the second round. I mean, if you look at his speed, 40-yard dash, that's in the 90th percentile, 20-yard split. Like, his height weighs him out because he's 6 foot. But this guy is just an athletic, and I mean athletic freak. He doesn't drop the ball that much. And I said it before. You need a slot receiver. He is slot-heavy usage. He's not very limited outside of that, but you don't need that. You need him in the slot. 2023, he had an amazing season, 86 receptions, 1,200 yards. kind of dropped off a little bit. I couldn't even tell you who the quarterback of Mizzou is, being producer Lopez we're talking about. I can't remember who the quarterback was of Mizzou, and that could probably explain why. I mean, to be honest, that probably explains why. You need a wide receiver. It could be Luther Burden. It could be Isaiah Bond. Just please, for the love of God, Titans, please, please, please get someone. The last one on my list, and this is something that I noticed when I was looking at all of the top 30 visits, is that they really weren't going for linemen. They didn't take any visits with linemen. You have Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State, and those are receiving stats, but he's a lineman, obviously. It's fine. But the Titans did not look for, they weren't taking visits for offensive linemen. I think you need to find an offensive guard that could possibly replace Kevin Zeitler, who's getting up there in age. And Donovan Jackson, he plays guard. He would be the perfect guy. I mean, you look at his Pro Football Focus grades, 71.8, 70.0, and pass blocking, 70.3 in the run. Only 2 sacks allowed, and this man knows how to use his hands. Doesn't pick up holding penalties. Doesn't pick up penalties much at all. The Titans, they need, you loaded up your offensive line with the signings of Dan Moore Jr., Kevin Zeitler. You now get to move J.C. Latham to right tackle. But you can draft someone in the second round, and I wouldn't mind it because you always look to improve the offensive line. Always. Because what matters most in football? Quarterback. And I don't care who the quarterback is. If you have a terrible offensive line around him, he's going to drop back to pass, and there's going to be guys coming right at him. Pause. He's not going to have any time to throw. Cam Ward needs time to throw. He needs to sit back there and sit in the pocket and find his man. If you don't have an offensive line, that's not going to happen. So you got to always improve the offensive line. We're just 11 days away from the NFL draft. It's coming up on us real quick. If you're excited for the NFL draft like I am, I'm ready. First pick. The second, it's going to be Cam Ward. The second Cam Ward becomes a Tennessee Titan, or whoever it is, we'll have a video out on the channel for you guys. And if you want to see it, don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/Titans Today. I'm your host, Brett Alper, and as always, tighten up.